So this has been a very interesting and big week for the crypto space, starting with Dubai taking their step towards regulating digital assets. Also, they have their crypto expo this week, which I believe actually starts today. Then we have Europe, who said they're not going to ban proof of work mining, which is why we saw the upswing in the cryptocurrency space. And then of course today we have Jerome Powell in the building, who should be doing the first interest rate hike. So we're going to be touching on all of those components in this video, but taking a focus on how Dubai plans to regulate digital assets. Now, before we actually dive into everything, I want to take a brief second to talk to you about 𝗓𝗏𝗏 and the reason why this is so important. If you're one of those people that is saving long-term or saving for retirement, 𝗓𝗏𝗏 definitely you want to check out. They offer crypto IRAs, and not only can we invest in cryptocurrencies, of course, but you can also invest in precious metals if that is your thing. Now, you can use this 24/7, 365. Now, when it comes to their institutional grade crypto custody, they have top-notch in Coinbase custody and Fireblocks. Now, you may be wondering, what cryptocurrencies can we buy and sell inside of the 𝗓𝗏𝗏 IRA? And here you can see on the screen yourself pretty much the top cryptos that are in the space today, and they're also known for always adding new cryptos. So if this is your first time hearing about 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏, or maybe you just haven't checked it out yet, you can actually earn $100 in Bitcoin when signing up for your first time. There will be a link in the description below, no promo code needed, and you'll be good to go. But now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and dive into the cryptocurrency price overview just to see how the market has rallied a little bit right after this. Welcome back to the channel, millionaires. I'm Mike the Investor, and as we briefly just look at CoinGecko here, at the time of this video, now it may be a little different when you see it, but we are currently up about 2.3% on the day, and you can see the current cryptocurrency market a little over 1.8 trillion. Now, as we move on down, you can see on the hour things are red, but if you look on the 7-day, for the most part, you'll see things are green for the most part for most cryptos. Now, of course, you got some ones that are in the red, but for the most part, things are in the green, I should say. And I guess it just kind of depends on what you're holding, but I guess it's kind of more so 50-50 as we move down the top 100. But not to get too much into what's going on with the price, I just wanted to kind of highlight it so we can kind of see what's going on in the cryptocurrency space. So as we look at the Dubai step towards regulating the crypto sector, as we can see here for the headline, this came out March 14th. Let's go ahead and move down a little bit. You can see the law would work towards developing and establishing UAE and Dubai's position as vital players in orienting the future of virtual assets globally. Now, it goes on to say that we establish an independent authority to oversee the development of the best business environment in the world of virtual assets in terms of regulation, licensing, and governance. Now, this last little sentence here talks about the law on virtual assets has been established and would be overseen and executed by Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, known as VARA or VARA. Now, let's move down to some of these key points here, and this is kind of what I want to highlight. The first one, it talks about VARA would dedicatedly serve as a regulatory to oversee crypto activities and related service providers. It talks about they're going to give responsibility of supervising the trading and issuance of virtual assets and virtual tokens. They're going to be responsible for authorizing and regulating virtual asset service providers. It talks about they're going to have authority to ensure the highest standards of protection for beneficiaries' personal data. It must also monitor virtual asset transactions to prevent price manipulation. It talks about that VAR would also authorize and regulate crypto trading platforms, offering the exchange between cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies, and between one or more cryptocurrencies would be subject to VARA. Also, the companies offering crypto transfer, custody, and management services would also come under the purview and will be regulated by the new law. It goes on to say the new law will be applicable throughout the Dubai except for the state-owned financial free zone, Dubai International Financial Center. The regulatory of DIFC, known as the Dubai Financial Service Authority, is working on its own cryptocurrency regulation. And then we have the UAE Securities Regulator, SCA, will be the sole authority in the UAE mainland for licensing, supervising, and overseeing the virtual asset activities and services issued for investment purposes. And then the last bullet point here talks about this would not include the virtual assets issued for payment purposes. And so right there, that kind of gives us an overview on what their actual focus is when it comes to what parts they're looking to regulate first when it comes to digital assets. And not to mention, if I just show you the headline here, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they have their crypto expo in Dubai, which I think is also going to bring some steam to the crypto space this week as well. March 16th, March 17th, and you're watching this video on the 16th. So now let's briefly take a look at, here you have Europe, who rejects the proposal limiting proof of work cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, pretty much layer ones, from mining. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Fed meeting that is happening today. Now, what we should expect, we should see an interest rate hike today. Also, we should start to see measures being taken far as the stopping of QE, and also them going to be doing tapering, meaning they're selling assets off of the balance sheet. So even with the positivity that's going on, don't forget and get distracted by what the Fed has to do, which will have an effect. However, I do believe some of it is priced in, but when you talk about actually selling assets, that is going to affect the markets. And so I just want to make that clear and keep that bug in your ear, so that way you're not just, hit over the top of the head when certain things take place. So if you gain some value from this video, most importantly, definitely smash the like button. Really helps out the algorithm, and I will see you on the next one.